Welcome back, my Duelist friends. Casual Duelist here. And I know it's a little bit earlier. I thought I was going to get this on Monday, but it turns out we came up with a workable list early. So today I'm going to show you guys how to turn 3 copies of the Beware of Traptrix deck into something that should be able to tear up your locals tournaments. So let's use this. Let's get you guys a profile. So first thing we're going to do, 3 copies of the brand new Arachnacampa. So, quick look at the effect. We're going to have one effect all Traptrix share. They are all unaffected by the effects of any normal trap that has the word hole in it. So, essentially, every trap hole ever created in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Next up, the first time each set card in your spell and trap zone will be destroyed by a card effect each turn. It is not, which is just an insanely good effect. During the main phase, if you control a Traptrix monster, and again, it could be same name, so opening 2 of these doesn't really hurt you. Quick effect, you may special summon this from the hand. You can also not special summon except Insect and Plant from the extra deck, and this effect is only once per turn. But as far as one of the best extenders in the game, kind of crazy. Next up, we are going to play a single copy of Atrix. This is unaffected by, again, the effects of normal hole trap cards. You can activate whole normal trap cards from the hand, which is kind of crazy. And the activation of normal traps activated on the field cannot be negated. So again, almost no reason, and in fact, there is no reason to run the Feather Duster in this deck. So we've excluded it, to be honest with you. One of our 2 ofs in this deck, we are going to be playing 2 copies Dianea. Again, unaffected by those traps. When this is normal summoned, you can target a Traptrix that's already in your graveyard, special summon it in defense. Quick note, this means it can bring back Xyz, but it cannot bring back, because it doesn't say level 4, right? Yeah, so you can't bring back a Link, because again, they do not exist in defense mode. They have no defense value, my friends. So just keep that in mind. You can bring back your Xyz with this. Special summon it in defense. When this is special summoned, target 1 whole normal trap card that's in the graveyard. Set the target, banish it during the end phase of the next turn if it's still in the field. You can only use this effect once per turn. And again, kind of reminds me of Lost Wind, which again, we play so often in Speed Duel. So that's good. Another crazy 3-of for this deck is going to be Mantis. So aside from the protection from the trap holes, when this card is normal summoned, you may add 1 Traptrix from your deck to your hand. It does say monsters, so don't get too excited for the spell traps. But that said, once per turn, quick effect, you may target 1 set spell trap card that you control, bounce that card to the hand, then set 1 spell trap from the hand. Now, if you have one that's on the field because of Dianea's effect, and you don't want to see it get banished, Mantis can go ahead, juggle it. When it gets reset, technically it's another card, so it'll be perfect. Another one we're going to use 3 copies of is Myrmeleo. Myrmeleo, unaffected by the effects of the trap hole cards again. When this is normal summoned, you may add 1 whole normal trap card from your deck to your hand. And then if this card is special summoned, target a spell trap that the opponent controls and destroy it. So again, 2 pretty good effects. But again, I love the searchability of our trap holes. So Myrmeleo, definitely great. 1 card I noticed that seemed to be damaged in literally every structure deck I've opened so far was the Pudica. Guys, let me know. Did you guys end up with weird corner damages in your sealed products? It's kind of weird. But 3 copies Pudica. Again, the normal immunity. You can only use each of the following effects of her once per turn. When this card is normal summoned, we can add 1 Traptrix Garden, which is our new field spell, from the deck to the hand. And if this is special summoned, we can then target 1 special summon monster the opponent controls, banish it, with 1 drawback. During the next standby phase, the opponent can special summon 1 of their banished monsters. Depending on what their deck is and how many monsters ended up getting banished, they're getting a choice. It's not bringing back the same one. So they might get something better back. They might get something worse. It's going to be their choice. And then the last of the Traptrix monsters we're going to run, single copy Vesiculo. Number 1, I love the art. All of these girls remind me of Fae folk from I keep wanting to say Magic. It's D&D. So I've been really enjoying playing around with these cards. Back to the effect. Unaffected by the trap holes. Again, you can only use one of the following effects per turn and only once that turn, so very hard once per turn here. You could choose to A, send one trap you control to the graveyard to special summon this from the hand. Or if you control no cards in your spell trap zone, you may banish this from the graveyard and then target one whole trap card from the graveyard and set it to the field. So again, she has a little bit of recurrence, which is why she's in here. And then, of course, I wanted to play a hand trap. And if you're going to play one, especially with everything that's still going around, like not exactly the Albaz, but the branded and everything like that, Ash Blossom is still going to give you the most bang for your buck, stopping all the deck interactions. Now, guys, real quick, I'm going to kind of make this a little bit easier because, again, these maybe you don't know them all by their illustrations yet. But go ahead and either pause and take some notes or screenshot us real quick, and we'll be back with some spells and some traps. So just 1 second, my friends. All right, hopefully you got that. We'll get into the spells real quick, and we're only going to be running 6. And it's not the 3 that you think never mind. So what we're going to start with is we're going to start with, obviously, the Pot of Greed with plus effects. So we're going to start with Trap Tantalizing Tune. So this spell card says to discard a level 4 insect or plant, which is literally every trap trick, or one normal trap, which I'm going to show you guys like an entire fistful, to draw 2 cards. Then you may choose to banish this in the graveyard and target one of your banished level 4 insect plants or normal traps. Place that card back to the bottom of your deck. Each effect is once per turn. So we can juggle both effects in the same turn, but then you can't activate multiple copies in a turn. So again, it's a quick +2 or a draw 2, not exactly a plus. And it's going to do good things for us. And then next up, we want 3 copies of the field spell, the Traptrix Garden. And again, I think this is really cool. During the main phase, you can normal summon 1 Traptrix monster in addition to the normal summoner set. This is an effect that you can only gain once per turn. So again, every turn is a double summon. Second effect, the first time each insect or plant would be destroyed by battle, it isn't. Again, that's pretty insane. And then, if that wasn't good enough, we get one more. You can banish 1 monster you control, special summon a Traptrix from the hand or graveyard. Use this effect only once per turn. So again, that's kind of broken, but like in a good, I can't wait to abuse this kind of way. And then we get a lot of normal traps, so let's start knocking those out. For the speed duelists, you guys know your floodgate trap holes. And again, this does something just in the way of being able to shut down other decks too. Some cards just won't get their effects if they're immediately put down, and then other cards can't summon because then you know there's a monster on the field. So there's a lot of use for this. Again, those monsters cannot change their battle positions once they're placed down. But again, it's just a really good one. One of my new favorites, and one I would like to talk about as far as a TA, would be the Gravedigger's Trap Hole. So you activate this when the opponent activates a monster effect in hand or grave. When your opponent's, or when your opponent's banished monster effect is activated, negate effect, and then inflict 2k damage to the opponent. So that's just beautiful. Single copy Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare. And again, this is like a goofy trap. Loving this thing. If the opponent has special summon a monster or monsters this turn, target a monster that they control with 2k plus attack, destroy it. Then if you have a whole normal trap card in your graveyard, you can banish 1 monster from the opponent's graveyard. Only activate 1 of these per turn. Again, it's not going to count itself because it'll still be on field during resolution. But so far, that's already 4 other targets for what could be in the graveyard. And again, that card could be there because you guys used the Trap Tantalizing Tune. So, fantastic. We are going to use 3 copies of Shade Brigadine. Special summon in defense is a normal monster. It's no longer considered to be a trap at this point. If you have no traps in your graveyard, you can activate this card the turn it is set. So again, this could be a first turn, set it, flip it type motion, which could allow us to get into our extra deck a little bit faster. Next up, another 3 of is going to be the Traptrix. And again, you guys remember me playing this for the hero cannon. I love this trap. Banish a normal trap card from your deck, except same name. If you do set one card with the same name directly from the deck, it can be activated this turn. You may only activate one trap for the remainder of this turn after this resolves, and you can only activate one copy of this trap per turn. So again, a good player is going to be able to make the best use of this, and just the fact that you're going to be able to go straight into activating the card, it's going to be so good. Next up, 2 copies of, and I'm going to try this. We're going to say this is Holotay, or Holotay. You can activate this to turn as a set by discarding a trap card. Special summon this in defense as a normal monster. No longer treated as a trap. Banish this from the graveyard. Target a Traptrix in the graveyard. Special summon it. You may only use one of these effects per turn and only once that turn. So again, this is between this and Brigadine. Brigadine. You have 5 trap monsters that could just immediately just jump out for no reason. So that's pretty exciting. Last card will be the Traptrix Trap Hole Nightmare. So when a monster that was special summoned this turn activates its effect on the opponent's side of the field, negate and destroy. So again, if you set this one, your opponent might not think anything of it, but there are a lot of effects that have to be tagged in. And if we're dealing with one of those, then obviously you can nail them with this. And you guys might go like, why didn't you play the evenly matched? Where was Raigeki? Where's Feather Duster? Guys, I think that a lot of that could be going into a sideboard. And I almost built one for the first time for one of these profiles. But again, I just didn't think it was all that necessary. So for right now, this is the Spell and Traps. Add this to the monsters. This is 40 cards. Again, real quick, make some notes or go ahead and screen cap us. And then we'll be right back with the extra deck. So one more moment. All right, and real quick before I give you guys the extra deck, I want to take a second to thank you guys for stopping by today. It means a whole lot that you guys do this, and I really do hope that you guys get to enjoy the rest of your weekend. Maybe we've earned a sub or at least another view later. So if you guys would like to support us, a like and a comment's really all you need to do. But if you do subscribe, thank you. But enough of that. Let's get you guys that extra deck. So real quick, this is going to be the full 15 because this deck did give us 6 options. And yes, we're going to be playing everybody. So we're going to start with Penguicula, I'm going to go with. 2 level 4s. And again, this means that we can use our trap monsters to do this. While this card has material, it is unaffected by traps and the activated effects of other monsters with the same type as this card's material. You can only use each of the following effects of Penguicula once per turn. Detach one material from this card, add a Traptrix from the deck to the hand, or if a monster is owned by your opponent, is sent to the graveyard or banished by a card effect, except during the damage step, you may attach one of those monsters to this card as material. So again, she can just go ahead and just keep building material, which is great. Another of our 3-ofs. I'm sorry, I'm going by the 3-ofs, then the 2-ofs. So 3-of, we're going to play 3 Kularia. It is a link 2. You're going to need insect and or plant. So again, just Traptrix for this. This link summoned card is unaffected by trap effects, of course. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. After you activate a whole normal trap, you may set it instead of sending it to the graveyard, which is OP. This is like Swift Scarecrow my entire deck. Or during the end phase, you can target a Traptrix monster in the graveyard and special summon it in defense mode. So again, we can repopulate the field and reuse our traps. Amazing card. Next up will be Sarah. And we're going to run 3 of her as well. 1 non-link Traptrix, so again, has to be played with the archetype. This link summon card is unaffected by trap effects. Use each of the following effects once per turn and not during the damage step. First effect, if a normal trap is activated, you may special summon a Traptrix from the deck with a different name than those that you control. And 2, if your other Traptrix monster's effect is activated, you can set 1 whole normal trap directly from the deck. So again, pretty amazing. And in our 2-ofs, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Alamaris. She's actually really cool. 2+ level 4s, unaffected by traps while it has material. and can use each of the following effects once per turn. So again, our trap monsters can be used for this. Effect 1, detach 2 materials, special summon a level 4 insect or plant from the grave. Or, if an opponent's monsters leaves the field because of a card effect and is now in the graveyard or banished except during the damage step, detach material from this, target one, special summon it to your side of the field. And again, she's no slouch. She's got 2200 attack. So good card, great card. Next one, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Rafflesia. 2 level 4s, so again, nice and generic. Unaffected by trap effects while it has material. Traptrix you control, except Rafflesia, cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. The opponent cannot target Traptrix you control, except Rafflesia, with card effects. Once per turn as a quick effect, detach 1 material from this card and send 1 whole normal trap that meets activation conditions from the deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that trap card's effect when this is activated. So Rafflesia is the trap hole. Like, yeah, I don't even know how much better that card could be. And then the last 2, we're gonna use 2 copies of Adipus or Adipus. I don't exactly know which type of insect she's based off of, so I'm not so sure on the pronunciation. She is 2+ monsters, including an insect or a plant. We can use our trap monsters to do this one. So again, link 3. The link summoned card is unaffected by trap effects, as they all are. All Traptrix that you control gain 1,000 while you have a normal trap in the graveyard. Obviously the easiest thing in the world to do with this deck. Once per turn, you can target face-up cards the opponent controls up to the number of insects and plants that you control. Negate their effects until the end of this turn. Then you may apply this effect. Banish a normal trap from your graveyard, and if you do, destroy one of the targeted face-up cards. So again, she's kind of cool, kind of amazing, and helps us just nullify board by taking away as many effects as we can. So guys, this is the $30 budget build. Beware the Traptrix. And again, they sort of epitomize what Fey Folk would be as far as the Yu-Gi-Oh variant. So these gals are actually some of the best structure deck value I've seen in a while. And I hope that you guys get to go terrorize your locals with this. So, one more time. Do the things or don't. That's entirely up to you. But do me one favor, okay? Go out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend, my friends. And I hope to see you guys again tomorrow for some speed duel, all right? All right. See you later.